Hello, I hope you are doing great. So I had some time not working with Unity and or doing videos about Unity. So now that I have some time, I wanted to do uh, a video about it. So today we are going to discuss how to use the input system that the latest version of the Unity of the input system that Unity added in order to receive input from several devices. In this case, what we are going to do is control our placeholder with a gamepad. So currently I have a gamepad connected to my machine, and if I play the game, this is just a small prototype, doesn't really have much. So they only have a couple of basic elements, and you will see that here I can rotate my player, and we can actually walk, and we can also walk while rotating if we want, and the rest will be pretty much just tweak the way we control our movement. So that's it for now. Okay, so how does the input work? So basically what you have to do is you have to go to Window, Package Manager, and you have to make sure that you have the um, package added. So when you are in Package Manager, verify that you have selected the Unity registry, and here you will see the input system. If you don't have it, you can install it. You will see an install in here. Okay, so after you do that, you will be able to create what it is known as input actions. So you will see that here I created a small folder under assets, and in the folder I have a couple of player input actions. One is a script and the other is the actual action. So basically what you do is you right click, create, and you specify input actions. You select this one, which is the one you will see, and you will be able to edit the asset. So at this point it is good that it is recommended that you know which are the actions that you are going to have in the game and how you are going to use them, where are they going to be called and everything. So currently I have a couple of actions. I have the move action and I have the rotate action. I have the select next action and the gather action. This is just a small proof of concept for a game that will allow you to construct your city based on the resources you gather. So for movement, you basically create, well, you need to create an action map, right? So when you create an action map, you will see something like this. Right now I have the one gameplay created, so I name it gameplay, right? And then for each, you need to create the actual actions that correspond to that action map. Basically, you can group these in different action maps depending on the behavior of your game. So how is my move, or what is going to control my movement, right? So it's going to be the it depends on the actual control you have, right? If it has analog sticks, if it only has the D-pad, right? It depends on the actual game you are doing to your game's logic. For now, what we are going to do is my movement is going to be controlled by my gamepad's left stick. So I select move, right? Then I do like add binding, and if there is, you will see like if I create a new action, let's call it jump, let's say, you will see that there will have this will be a new jump, a new binding below. So if you need to bind it, you just click here, you do the listen, and when you do the listen, basically it's receiving the actual inputs that will correspond to that. So in this case, let's say that my jump is going to be with a B. I hit B, and it will detect the buttons that correspond to that B. So it will be the B for the Xbox controller, or the button is for Gamepads, which is this one is more generic, so I can choose that one, right? So for now, I'll remove this one because we are not doing jump at the moment. For my left stick, basically what you do is the same. You click the left stick, or you click the no bindings, right? You put a name in there, you hit listen, and you rotate the analog stick and you select which one. So this case is the left stick, right? You do the same for rotate, you do the same for select next, and you will see that here it will be like left stick, right stick, D-pad right and gamepad, and button south for gamepad for the gather. And that will be pretty much it. If you want, you can configure the autosave so it saves every time you modify it. It makes things a little bit slower because it will pretty much detect the changes and it will load, right? So, but it guarantees that everything is saved. So something that is recommended when you are using this, since we are coding in C#, is that you generate the C# classes. There are like two ways to invoke the actions, and the default way is by name conventions, right? So you will have like on move, on rotate, and on select next method, right? But when you are working with string-based events or messages that are not really linked to something visible from your own code, it's a little bit to understand where they are being called from. So it's much better to do the generated C# class. Then you will have a strong types for that, and you will see that this one is named player input actions, right? It will contain all of the messages that you have in there, and you will see that it defines some wrappers or some action callbacks for onMove, right? OnMove perform, OnMove cancel, OnMove started, OnMove rotate perform, perform cancel, and so on, right? So basically what you do is you create another script that you type to, let's say for your player, my player script is this one, right? And when I open it, basically what I have in here is I create a new instance of player input actions, right? I save it as a private variable, and then I start adding the events, right? You can do it like this, the old-fashioned way, or you can do it by using the lambda format. I just hate the lambda format because everything is in the same line or in the same place, and I don't really like to have code, a lot of code in the same method. And I rather the old way to invoke the delegates or to configure the delegates. You will see that this is actually defined this way. You have your input action variable, then you have your action map, as a class, right? And each of your actions is going to be a property of that action map. So if you have different action maps, you can use them by this input action, and you will implement it once you need, or start it, perform, and cancel. So the move started, for example, let's see what it has. It actually has nothing. I haven't really configured. The move perform, it has something, and the move cancel, it has something. So basically what we are doing here is on the move perform, we are reading like how much the analog stick was moved, right? And in the move cancelled, basically when everything finishes, we need to put this back again to vector 0, otherwise the player will keep moving with the last value of this move. Now in the update, we go to the update, and the update is where we are controlling the movement. So basically, if move is not vector 0, you walk forward, right? Movement with Y, and you also move right, depending on if you are hitting like depending on the actual position of your analog stick, right? And this is so you can move both ways, all the ways, right? Forward, backwards, and to the sides. And if rotate is not equal to vector 0, basically we rotate, and the rotation will be the value that we have for the x, because we are going to rotate around our own we're going to rotate around our own axes, right? That's pretty much it. Once you do that, you will have your player moving. It's really straightforward. Doesn't really take a lot of time. It's much it seems that it's way more cleaner than the old-fashioned way that using the input get axis, right? And that you didn't even know like what was happening many times. Here basically by configuration, you are pretty much implementing everything, and that actually goes side to side with how Unity was designed with the support for the inspector and all that. So yeah, it basically reduced a lot of the coding that you had to do. So it's pretty good. I recommend you test it. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and please remember, subscribe to the channel and share the videos so we can keep making more videos. Take care.